Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Level M Diecast. I have been a bit under the weather, so apologize for the lack of content recently, but we have a whole bunch of super rigs to cover today. We're going to start with some older rigs, work all the way up to a new 2025 release. Should be the last mix of the year with some new decos and stuff in there, which is pretty nice. But we're going to start with this one back from 2010 Mattel right there, back when these were obviously not very good. This is Night Landing. This actually has a ramp on the back with a helicopter, which doesn't make any sense at all. But, you know, Hot Wheels was doing some different stuff back then. We'll get this slid out of there. So this is going to be when the trailers were super cheap. And the rest of the stuff was probably not that good either. So there is the truck. You can see right here, it is just a giant plastic blob. The trailer is. Does the trailer come off? Yep, there we go. The truck is decent. All the brown you see here is a die-cast body, which is, it's relatively heavy. These are proprietary one-off wheels. They're fine. Very interesting. It has a kind of a military deco. Oops, sorry about that. Military deco to it. Front grille on there. Of course, it says HW on the grille. A little bit of red print for the window. Not an actual window, but that's the print. A couple of chrome stacks on it. It's fine. This is the trailer. They redid this trailer to not be so crappy later on down the road, but it does have a ramp on it. So the ramp comes up and then it goes into the back, holds it down. Kind of ridiculous that they added a helicopter with it for a ramp, but it is what it is. This is, of course, their mission chopper. Does have the tail fin that goes in and out. The two-piece blade here at the top. If I can get this to rotate, there we go. So it is a two-piece one, so you get that to fold up. Just says Hot Wheels on there, nothing particularly fancy. There is an interior in there, but of course it is part of the base. So not too shabby. It's, I mean, like I said, it's fine. Really nothing crazy. Just snap that back on there. It looks fine. This is a sticker, by the way. But when you put the helicopter on there, like, it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. All right, next one up. This one is also from 2010. This is the Swamp Racer. Forgot to look at the back of the other one, but it's from the same release. So I do have this one right here, the Nightbirders. I don't have the Surf's Up. Now we have the Swamp Racer here. Gamma Racer and Muscle Mania, I don't have either one of those. Those ones are a little bit better trailers. This one's not exactly the greatest, but it's fine. Swamp Racer. So we'll get this one out of here. Always working at trying to complete the super rigs, all of them, even the old ones. But there's quite a few I don't have. Shockingly, I have hundreds of these, but again, super cheap. You can see the truck itself is just a giant blob of plastic. However, there is some die cast on it. Trailers are very difficult to get off of there. So this top section here is all die cast. It's actually relatively heavy. You can see where the rivet spots are down there. Again, proprietary wheels on there. Some fake exhaust, as you can see. Some ridiculous front end work on it. Kind of reminds me of the Quambi, which is a first edition model. Just a basic mainline car. Kind of looks like the Quambi to me, just a little bit. So it's fine. Comes with this trailer right here. It does open up in the back. You put a car in there. Those are stickers on the top. This blackboard down here is a print. Exact same details on the other side. This particular one comes with this guy right here. Don't know if it has the name on it. Somewhere in the back there. The Praying Marcos or something. Maybe the Mantis. It's fine. It's kind of ugly, but it fits the whole track motif. So fits in there perfectly fine. Sometimes they put cars in there that they just don't fit. But this one fits just fine. And it snaps closed too, which is nice. A little bit of detail on the top. Nothing particularly fancy. Snap the trailer back on there. Ooh, there we go. Set this down there. So we're going to set this guy to the side. All right, another older one right here. This one is from 2013. There is the release on the back. So I do have all of these ones. I just didn't have this one. The Sky Show rig with the plane. So this one looks good. And a couple of decos for this one over the years. This is one of the earlier decos, I do believe. also get our mad props out of there. Get this out of there. So there is the truck. Just have the detachable trailer. This is, this is modern day super rigs. This is good stuff. This is super heavy. All the red you see here is die cast, and it's really heavy. It's very front heavy on this casting. A little bit of details on the base. Looks good. Some fake exhaust. Big old rotary engine in the back, because of course it's supposed to be, powered by a piston, plain piston engine. This looks good. Details on the side says Fire Patrol. Nothing particularly fancy. Some huge 5-spoke wheels. They actually use these wheels on some mainline models that have giant wheels on there. The trailer is interesting. The trailer is several pieces. This black cowl is separate. The chrome is separate. The red. And then, of course, you have this little bit back here for the axle. H31. And then, of course, there is the hitch. There is no metal to this trailer. It is all plastic. So it snaps that on there just like that. There is our mad props. With, of course, the big prop in the front. Looks fine. Matching deco on there says fire. The wings are matte black. Looks good. So, little tiny wheels on there. Rolls sort of okay. It does sit in the trailer just fine. It's not particularly designed for that, but it's fine. It works fine. So, we'll set this one to the side. All right, now we are up to 2025. All right, everybody, we're going to start with our final mix of 2025. It is a reissue of this guy right here. This guy is in 40A. This is the Rig Dog. This is the, pretty sure this is the OG release. The very first release has a gold chrome door on the back. Comes with the 24 hours car, 24 hours, and gold with some FTE wheels on there. Throw that in there. Looks fine. 28 pit crew on the side. This is a reissue we got of that particular model right here. So this was the reissue. So the OG on the bottom. You see the light blue versus the dark blue. And also when you take a look at the side here, they changed the outline of the prints. So OG on the bottom. The first re-release there on the top. So, and it still came with the exact same car, that 24 hours. So we'll get these out of here. This one is the new one for the final mix of 2025. This is your third issue of this particular one. Now, these particular ones don't have a picture of the entire set in the back, but these are still copyright 2025 Mattel. So this is going to be your final mix of 2025. I'm very confident in that. So we'll get this out of here. So this is our current release right here. The previous release right there. On the bottom. So the difference between the two is going to be negligible, but if you look at the Hot Wheels logo, this is our new one up here. They added a gray background to the print. So that looks really, really good. Uses the same colors, decos and stuff though, but they did change the print to the back. But the biggest change that they did is they added a new car to the mix. Now this is probably just pulled from the main line. So this was way cheaper for them to make a model that doesn't necessarily fit. But it was way easier and cheaper to just throw something in from the main line. So no gold 24 hours. So if you are ultra completist, you do need to get this one, which does have the new model versus the 24 hours, which is the old one. All right, next one, that is a reissue. It's going to be this guy right here. This one is dated G38. G38, of course, is for 2014. So very old for this one, 2014. This is the Road Rally. This is the reissue of the Road Rally. So this is the first reissue that we got. So we take a look at this. The original one had some dark translucent base. And then, of course, the reissue had a clear translucent base. And a little bit of print differences between the base color here. They used the same model for them, for the colors. And the printing on the side was a little bit darker on the first re-release, which is this one here. But since we have yet another re-release, because Mattel is just loving doing this stuff, this is the second re-release of this one for Road Rally. So we'll crack this and see if there's any differences between it. So there is the model right there. So compare that to the previous one, which is on the bottom. The prints are the same. The wheels are the same. The base looks to be pretty close. There's a little bit of a blue difference in there, but nothing particularly crazy. Taking a look at the colors of the cab. The previous one is much, much darker. The current one is a lot lighter in the prints, but again, that's going to be all you get. The trailer prints are the same between the two of those as well. So colors and all that good stuff like that. This one on the top, the previous one's a little bit darker orange, but nothing particularly crazy. And then they both have an opening little back section here. We'll take the model out. That is the model included. And this is the current one on the top versus the previous on the bottom. No particular difference between those other than, of course, the base codes. So we'll get that one back into where it's supposed to go. And our current one snapped back in there. So if you don't want to be a crazy completist, those are two that you can absolutely live without. However, the next three are 100% new decos for the trucks. New decos for the trucks. So Haulin Horsepower, this is a brand new deco. We've actually not seen this truck for a little bit. It's been a little bit since we've seen this particular one. This one has a little cool feature where the engine rocks back and forth. The model itself is probably pulled straight from a mainline. I wouldn't be able to comment on that specifically because I don't particularly care for this casting. This is the Blade Raider. It's fine. It looks like an off-road model, but it's not particularly desirable. So there is our big dog right there. You see when you rotate the wheels, the engine moves, which is pretty nice. There are little blades that stick out on the engine, side of the engine, that when you rotate or when you drive it, it moves just a little bit. It's a gimmick, but it works. All the green you see right there is die cast. Everything else is plastic. This thing is giant. It's big. It's beefy. I like it. Our trailer on there, they're actually a little bit of die cast down here at the bottom, which is really, really nice. The lime green does match. That is print on the side. That is that nice inkjet style printing. Looks good. So this also has the updated trailer hitch. So this has moved away from the ball and chain sort of hookup as most rigs have done. They are slowly redoing these. This is the same hitch that Matchbox has pioneered, and now Hot Wheels is using the same. That way that these are universal. You could add Hot Wheels trailers, trucks to your Matchbox convoys and vice versa. So it makes sense, which is cool. And of course the model just sits in the back. It fits perfectly fine. Looks good. So we'll move our two reissues out of there so we can put our new ones down there on the bottom. All right, brand new deco for this guy, heavy duty dumper. Very, very nice to see a brand new deco on this. It's 2025. Brand new deco for this one. Very, very cool. This one obviously probably pulled from the mainline as well, but the truck is a new deco. Again, they don't list the models on the back like they used to. So, and it could be just a card variation, but there is the truck. Has the opening little seat in there. Nothing particularly fancy. More than likely pulled directly from the mainline, but it does match this particular truck, which is nice. So, get this popped out. This does have the updated hitch as well, which I think this debuted with. The truck looks good. It says duty dumper on there, Porta-Potty, 24-hour delivery services. So, Hot Wheels DOT number, uses the Steelies, looks good. It's pretty lightweight. The white you see is die cast, everything else is plastic, but nice to see them use a bunch of chrome. There's a little bit of cost involved, a little bit of money in there. Interesting trailer. It is all plastic, but they fill it all in so that it looks substantial. It's just not substantial. And then of course it comes with a couple of porta potties. There's the details on the bottom of the porta potties. So you got a roll of like toilet paper, plungers, stuff like that. The porta potties just sit on the top. They use that nice high quality inkjet style printing. 1 and 2, 2 and 1. Pretty straightforward. It is all one piece, but it's not too shabby. So slide that on there, and then of course your porta potty truck does sit on the back just perfectly fine. Looks good. Looks good. Not too shabby. All right, the final truck we have up here. We finally get a new color for the Scuba Dub Driver. This thing's been released about 3 times already, and it's always been in the debut color. Finally, we get a new color for this particular mix. So I'm really, really happy about that. This particular duck looks a little bit different. This might not be pulled directly from the mainline, but it might show up in the mainline, potentially. So we'll see. So get our truck out of here. And pretty much what I mean by that is this could be a 2026 release. They're just adding it into the Super Rig line. You never know. you never know. Just in blue. Looks fine. All right, getting into the Scuba Driver, though. This is the model right here. This does still use the old school pin hitch style on there. And honestly, I think what you'll see is some of this stuff might not get updated. Some of the trailers and trucks might work better this way versus the new style. So we may not see that on every single model, but time will tell. Details on the side, there's a duck on there, which is cool. It says HW on the tank, which is nice. This truck's kind of cool. It's got some pipes, literal pipes for the exhaust out of the top. The brown that you see here is all die-cast. Everything else is plastic. This is a pretty cool truck, though. I like this setup. That's like basically a bath mat. It's literally a bath mat in the back. It's just... Hotwheels is really good at giving like little Easter eggs in these trucks and stuff. It's pretty cool. The trailer has a little bit of die-cast right here on the bottom just to give it some weight. It says Scuba Dub Custom Car Club. Hot Wheels on the side. It is a off kind of white, weird looking tub color, which I think it's kind of cool. And of course, there's just a blue insert in there to kind of show that there's water and some simulated bubbles and stuff. You put the rubber ducky in there, and it looks perfectly fine. It's pretty much made for it. Snap that right on the front. Looks good. So you turn this to the side. The pipes do get enough in there to quote-unquote fill the tank. So it gets a nice little look to it, but has the full range of motion, so no biggie there. So that's not too shabby. So there you go. That is the latest mix of 2025 Super Rigs, some older Super Rigs, and of course the brand new ones. That should be dropping everything off the studio. That should be everything for 2025. The very last release right there. Pretty good. This is pretty good. 3 new decos in there. Super happy with that. Couple of re-releases with some difference in there, so not too shabby. We'll be moving on to 2026 right around the corner, and we'll catch you next time here on LMD. Peace!